I have seen a lot of videos recently about how to counter the Die of Death killers. So, after playing this game for a amount of time I am not proud of, and seeing many discussions about balancing on YouTube or gameplay clips in general, I think I'm able to give some advice on how to
5, 4, 3, 2, 1
counter every Die of Death killer. The first killer is Pursuer. Pursuer is a really strong killer, but he has a big counter, and that counter is named looping. This is especially clear on maps like Glass Houses and Grandma's Backyard, where there are many giant loops. For this reason, Bonus Pet is definitely the best ability against Pursuer, because it makes you fast enough to counter how. IT Revolver comes in second place because all of Pursuer's abilities leave him vulnerable to stuns. However, the 90 stamina can really hurt you, so be sure you don't move close to him at any moment, because Pursuer is pretty much able to just target you down. The same goes to healers. If you're playing as a healer, don't move close to Pursuer, that's stupid. Punch is more useful if you want to be selfish and use it for self-defense, but way worse for teamwork compared to Revolver. Summarizing, loop him. If you have a Revolver, try to stay away from him, always watching if he uses one of his abilities, or if you can catch him off guard and shoot, usually when he is facing backwards, because then he can't see you, and punch is still a really good stun, but I would pick Revolver over it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1
Artful is definitely the most bullyable killer in the entire game. It's really hard to decide what's the best ability against him because Cloak, Punch and Revolver all destroy him. With Cloak, the music box does not affect you, you can phase through his walls, dealing damage to them and letting other teammates phase through them as well. Now for Revolver and Punch, Artful obviously gets big and leg from all his abilities and has 90 stamina, so it's not just really easy to hit the stuns, but if you do hit them consistently, it makes it really hard for him to reach people. Now for the smaller attacks, because there are many, although pretty hard to pull off, you can stun him before he spawns his walls or his box, and he just won't place them. His minions and walls can be destroyed early with stuns. His minions take damage while being placed. Love Shot will get free health by shooting his minions and walls. Block gets free health by blocking his minions' attacks. And Showtime LMS is a thing. Forgot to say that before, but you can also place a bonus pad near his music box, so they cancel each other out. You can also stand still in the music box, so whoever is actually trying to chase won't get any slowness. I don't recommend doing this if you don't have block, punch or taunt, because with those you can avoid a hit, just in case Artful decides to switch the focus to you, because if you are standing still on top of the music box, you are just asking for it. Overall, just pay attention to where he's placing his stuff so you don't run into a dead end. Always stun him when you have the chance. If your teammates need it, you can waste a shot just to break a wall and make good use of your stamina so he can reach you because of his asthma. The next killer is Hurricane, and I'm not going to show gameplay of her because I actually despise playing that killer. Hurricane is the biggest pub stomper in the game, being able to obliterate lobbies in 2 minutes or getting beaten by a rock. There's no in between. By the way, a pub stomper is a character that's really overpowered exclusively against less skilled or more casual players. Hurricane has 2 very big counters. The first one is looping and the second one is common sense. Hurricane has no consistent way to counter looping, relying on her enrage mode to do that. Following that logic, avoid using any abilities when she's not on enrage mode unless you really need to. And please, I beg of you, do not go for the let's kill her mindset, as Revolver generates the most noise out of any ability in the entire game. Not just that, but the 90 stamina is terrible against the enraged mode Hurricane. And if the Hurricane plays decently well in the first place, she won't even die. She will just be forced not to use Immolate. But in this case, you are already feeding her so much noise that she won't even need to use Immolate. If she's already at 100 health or something like that, it's okay to try to kill her, even though it's not even guaranteed that she'll die because of Tangle. Just don't go with that mindset from the start of the match, please. Now when Hurricane actually goes enraged, you can use the long animation to move away as fast as possible or place down a bonus pad. The bonus pad allows you to keep looping her even with her increased movement speed. It does make a lot of noise, but usually makes up for it. Besides bonus pad, punch and block are really good against Artful. Punch generates very little noise and can be used after getting hit by Tangle, taking advantage of the pole and immediately destroying the chain. Tangle and are free blocks, but keep in mind Hurricane can miss on purpose. Also, Taunt is really useful, trust me on that.
2, 1.
Fresh meat.
The next one is Bedware. Bedware is actually the hardest killer to counter in the entire game. I don't think that he is the strongest killer because Pursuer is more versatile and easier to play as, but when there is a good Bedware player in a map where Bedware is not terrible, it can get really hard to go against. However, there are still many strategies you can use to help eat him. Bedware's main counter is healing. Bedware's playstyle consists in dealing cheap damage to survivors until they die, therefore he is heavily countered by healing abilities. A single Carpet can make Bedware's life a nightmare. So as Carpet, be sure you never close to him. He might decide to tunnel you down, sacrificing 1 or 2 computers in the process. Because trust me, to kill a Carpet, it's worth it. Bedware is also countered by splitting up. If 2 or 3 members of your team start breaking computers on one side of the map while the rest break computers at another area, it's way harder for Bedware to protect the computers. If he is at a bridge or at a corridor, you can pass through him with Cloak. This way he won't even see you trying to get to his other computers. Since the Bedware may have to use Rift a lot to counter players splitting up, there are many smaller attacks you can use to counter rifts. You can use Adrenaline to move out of the way before Bedware teleports. You can place a banana peel on his computer. You can place yourself just out of the bleeding area and shoot him with a revolver. You can sacrifice 10 health from the bleeding and punch him. Now to summarize, use the healing abilities, split up from your team to destroy the computers. In case he uses Rift, be ready to counter it, and that's it. As you can see, Kildroid is the second biggest pub stomper in the game, below Hurricane, as a single experienced player can make Kildroid's life hell. The first thing you have to do is learn how to juke him. Do not be predictable or else you will die. The best abilities against Kildroid are Block, Taunt and Hot Dog, with an honorable mention to Cloak. Block is the most obvious, just be aware that he can miss on purpose to bait your block. Taunt fully counters deploy, Kildroid's best ability. Just get right in front of him and right before Kildroid is able to move again, use Taunt. Now you are invincible, so just stand still and let the Killbot activate on you. Kildroid loses the ability and you take no damage. The same goes for Detonate. If he uses Detonate on you, you can use Taunt to just block the damage, but who uses Detonate anyway? I just found one actual good use for Detonate in my whole time playing Kildroid. Seeing Hot Dog here may sound confusing because Hot Dog is definitely the worst ability in the entire game. However, the reason why it's so bad is because it drains your stamina, and having high stamina is not at all important against Kildroid. Looping or outrunning Kildroid usually won't save you. What you really need to do is juke him. As I said before, you can also tank his deploy with the heal. You can heal while he's chasing you. If you dodge a M1, then start using the Hot Dog right after because the cooldown is really long. And that's it. Hot Dog is actually really good against Kildroid. Now for a Cloak that gets an honorable mention, even though I don't think it's that good against Kildroid. If Kildroid uses Fly, you can just use Cloak and he won't be able to target you. Now for something really important that doesn't involve any abilities, you actually can fully dodge Fly really easily. Just get slightly far away from him, and when his shot goes off, you just sprint left or right. This isn't really hard to master and moves Fly from one of the best moves in the game to one of the worst moves in the game. Once I discovered this, I actually stopped using Flight at all. I rarely use it. Maybe the trick won't work if you are in a Vigilante showdown, but I haven't really tested this, so I can confirm. So this is the video. Next, we are going to learn how to counter Paranoid.